From homeless to heroic, igniting your inner fire and changing the world. Welcome to an extraordinary journey of transformation, resilience, and triumph. Today, we're diving deep into a story that will challenge everything you thought you knew about success, adversity, and the human spirit. We have the incredible privilege of sharing insights from Rita Clark, a woman whose life trajectory reads like a Hollywood script, but I assure you it's all gloriously, painfully real. Rita Clark isn't just an entrepreneur or a single mother who beat the odds. She's a force of nature, a beacon of hope in a world that often feels shrouded in darkness. Her journey from a homeless shelter to the pinnacle of entrepreneurial success isn't just inspiring. It's a battle cry for anyone who's ever felt beaten down by life's relentless challenges. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, another rags to riches story. What's new? But hold on to your seats, because Rita's tale isn't just about financial success. It's about the raw, gritty, sometimes ugly process of completely reinventing yourself when the world has written you off. Picture this. A woman, battered and bruised, not just physically, but emotionally, fleeing domestic violence with 3 children in tow. She's divorced, homeless, and living in a shelter far from anything familiar. The future, it looks about as promising as a sand castle at high tide. Fast forward to today, and that same woman stands before us as a testament to human resilience, a successful entrepreneur, and a living, breathing example of what it means to rise like a phoenix from the ashes of your former life. But let's get one thing straight. This isn't some fairy tale where a fairy godmother waves a wand and poof, all problems disappear. No, Rita's story is one of blood, sweat, and tears. It's about making the choice every single day to keep pushing forward when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to give up. Now, I can almost hear the skeptics among you. Sure, she made it, but what about me? No, my situation is different. I don't have what it takes. Well, buckle up, buttercup, because we're about to challenge every excuse you've ever made for not pursuing your dreams. Rita's journey teaches us 3 crucial lessons that I want to tattoo on your brain today. First, your calling isn't just some fluffy new age concept. It's your lifeline. When Rita found herself at rock bottom, she didn't see a dead end. She saw a foundation, a starting point. She understood that her experiences, painful as they were preparing her for something greater. How many of us ignore that nagging feeling, that persistent whisper that says we're meant for more? We silence it with excuses, drown it in the noise of our daily lives. But here's the kicker. Recognizing your calling is just the beginning. The real challenge, the real growth comes from having the audacity to act on it, which brings us to our second lesson. Faith isn't a spectator sport. When Rita decided to step out on faith, she wasn't just making a wish and hoping for the best. She was making a commitment to herself and her vision that was so powerful it could have shifted tectonic plates. I can almost hear some of you squirming in your seats. But what if I'm wrong? What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? Newsflash, they probably will. Failure isn't just a possibility, it's a guarantee. The only question is, will you let it stop you, or will you use it as rocket fuel? Rita's faith wasn't about waiting for a miracle. It was about becoming the miracle. It was about waking up every day and choosing to believe in her vision, even when the evidence suggested she was crazy for doing so. It was about taking one step, then another, and another, even when she couldn't see the path ahead. This kind of faith isn't blind optimism. It's a gritty, determined belief that what you're doing matters, that you have something valuable to offer the world. It's the kind of faith that says, I may not have all the answers, but I'm going to keep moving forward until I find them. And that brings us to our third lesson. Your platform is your power. In today's world, we often wait for permission. We wait for someone to hand us an opportunity to validate our ideas, to give us a stage. Rita's story reminds us that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is to build our own damn stage. Creating your own platform isn't just about having a place to showcase your talents or ideas. It's about taking control of your narrative. It's about refusing to let your circumstances or other people's opinions define who you are and what you're capable of achieving. When Rita began building her platform, she wasn't just creating a business. She was creating a testament to her resilience, a living, breathing example of what's possible when you refuse to stay down. Her platform became a beacon for others who were struggling, a source of hope for those who felt trapped by their circumstances. But let's be real for a moment. Building your own platform is scary as hell. It's vulnerable. It means putting yourself out there, risking rejection, facing criticism. It means being willing to fail publicly. But as Rita's story shows us, it also means giving yourself the chance to succeed on your own terms. Now, I can see some of you nodding, maybe even feeling a little fired up, but I also know that for many of you, there's still that nagging voice in the back of your mind. That's great for Rita, it says, but my situation is different. I don't have what it takes. I'm not strong enough, smart enough, brave enough. Let me stop you right there. Because that voice, that's not the voice of reason, that's the voice of fear, masquerading as logic. That's the voice that keeps us small, that keeps us safe, that keeps us from reaching our full potential. And it is the voice that Rita had to confront and overcome every single day of her journey. So let me ask you this. What would happen if, just for today, you decided to tell that voice to shut the hell up? What if, instead of focusing on all the reasons why you can't, you started focusing on the one reason why you must? Because here's the truth that Rita's story illuminates so beautifully. You are capable of far more than you realize. You have within you the same spark, the same potential for greatness that propelled Rita from a homeless shelter to entrepreneurial success. The only question is, are you willing to fan that spark into a flame? Now, I know what some of you are thinking, and this all sounds great, but let's get practical. How do I actually do this? How do I find my calling, step out on faith, and build my own platform when I'm struggling just to get through the day? Fair questions. And the answer, like most worthwhile things in life, is both simple and challenging. You start where you are with what you have. Finding your calling isn't about waiting for a bolt of lightning to strike you with divine inspiration. It's about paying attention to what lights you up, what problems you feel compelled to solve, what injustices make your blood boil. Your calling is often found at the intersection of your passions and the world's needs. Stepping out on faith doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow and diving headfirst into the unknown. It means taking small, consistent steps towards your vision, even when you can't see the entire path. It means being willing to be uncomfortable, to face your fears, to do the things that scare you because you know they're leading you towards your goals. And building your own platform, that starts with your mindset. It starts with understanding that your voice matters, that your experiences have value, that your perspective is unique and needed in the world. From there is about finding ways to share that voice, whether it's through social media, community involvement, or simply having meaningful conversations with the people around you. Rita's journey from a homeless shelter to entrepreneurial success didn't happen overnight. It was a process of daily choices, of small victories and setbacks, of learning and growing and refusing to give up. And that's the journey we're all on, whether we realize it or not. So here's my challenge to you. Take a moment right now to identify one small step you can take today towards your calling. It doesn't have to be big or grand. Maybe it's reaching out to someone who inspires you. Maybe it's spending 15 minutes researching a topic you're passionate about. Maybe it's simply writing down your dreams and goals, giving them life on paper. Whatever it is, commit to taking that step. And then tomorrow, take another one. And the day after that, another. Because that's how change happens. That's how dreams become reality. That's how ordinary people like Rita, like you and me, become extraordinary. Remember, creating your own platform isn't just about personal success. It's about creating a ripple effect of positive change in the world. When you step into your power, when you embrace your calling, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible, just as Rita has become for so many. Let me share with you another powerful example of this principle in action. Meet Sarah, a former corporate executive who found herself unfulfilled and burning out in her high-powered job. She had always had a passion for sustainable living and environmental conservation, but like many of us, she had pushed those interests aside in pursuit of what she thought was success. One day, after a particularly grueling week at work, Sarah decided she'd had enough. She quit her job, cashed in her savings, and started a small urban farming initiative in her community. People thought she was crazy. Her family worried she was throwing away her career, but Sarah knew in her gut that this was her calling. The first year, it was tough. Sarah faced countless setbacks, crops that failed, skeptical neighbors, financial struggles, but she persevered. She educated herself, reached out to experts, and slowly but surely, her little urban farm began to flourish. Today, Sarah's initiative has grown into a citywide network of urban farms that not only provide fresh, organic produce to local communities, but also offer education programs on sustainable living. She's created jobs, improved food security in her city, and inspired countless others to pursue their own eco-friendly initiatives. Sarah's story, like Rita's, reminds us that when we align our actions with our deepest values and passions, we have the power to create meaningful change, not just in our own lives, but in the world around us. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's great for Sarah and Rita, but I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't want to start a business or an initiative. How does this apply to me? Great question. And here's the answer. This isn't just about starting businesses or organizations. It's about recognizing that whatever sphere of influence you have, whether you're a teacher, a parent, an employee, a student, you have the power to create positive change. Maybe your platform is the classroom where you inspire young minds. Maybe it's your family, where you're raising the next generation of compassionate, socially conscious individuals. Maybe it's your workplace, where you can advocate for more ethical practices or better treatment of employees. The point is, we all have a sphere of influence. We all have a platform. The question is, are we using it to its full potential? Let me give you one more example that drives this point home. Meet Carlos, a janitor at a large corporation. On paper, Carlos didn't have much power or influence, but Carlos understood something crucial, that every interaction, every moment was an opportunity to make a difference. Carlos started small. He began leaving encouraging notes for the night shift workers he rarely saw. He learned everyone's names and greeted them with genuine warmth. He went out of his way to help wherever he could, even if it wasn't in his job description. Over time, something remarkable happened. The office atmosphere began to change. People were happier, more cooperative. Productivity improved, and it all traced back to Carlos and his simple acts of kindness. The CEO took notice. Instead of just thanking Carlos, he did something unprecedented. He created a new position, Chief of Corporate Culture, and offered it to Carlos. Today, Carlos travels to all the company's offices, teaching others how to create a positive work environment. His influence has expanded far beyond what anyone, including Carlos himself, ever imagined possible. Carlos's story teaches us that your platform isn't defined by your job title or your bank account. It's defined by your willingness to make a difference wherever you are with whatever you have. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Hope isn't just a feeling. It's a choice. It's a practice. It's something we cultivate through our actions, our beliefs, and our unwavering commitment to our vision. Rita's story, Sarah's journey, Carlos's impact, they all show us that hope can indeed become reality, that cliches about overcoming adversity and achieving dreams aren't just feel-good platitudes. They can actually come true. But it only happens when we're willing to roll up our sleeves, face our fears, and do the work. It happens when we choose to believe in ourselves and our vision, even when no one else does. It happens when we refuse to let our circumstances define us and instead use them as the building blocks of our future. So, my friends, as you leave here today, I want you to ask yourself, what's your calling? What's the platform you need to build? What's the step you need to take today to move closer to your vision? Because here's the truth. The world needs your voice. It needs your ideas, your passion, your unique perspective. It needs you to step up, to speak out, to create, to lead, just as Rita Clark did, just as Sarah and Carlos did, just as countless others have done throughout history. You have within you the power to transform your life and the lives of those around you. You have the ability to turn your pain into purpose, your struggles into strength, your setbacks into setups for something greater. So go forth with courage. Step out on faith. Build your platform. Share your story. Because who knows, your journey might just be the inspiration someone else needs to start their own. Remember, your story isn't over. In fact, the most exciting chapters are yet to be written. And they begin the moment you decide to pick up the pen and start writing. The world is waiting for you to make your mark. It's waiting for you to rise from whatever circumstances are holding you back and become the hero of your own story. It's waiting for you to recognize that the power to change your life and to change the world has been within you all along. So, what are you waiting for? The stage is yours. The spotlight is on. It's time to step up, speak out, and show the world what you're made of. Because you have the power to be the next Rita, the next Sarah, the next Carlos. You have the power to be the change this world so desperately needs. Now go out there and set the world on fire. Your journey starts now.